Hi guys, welcome to the CATWay. So in this video, we are going to solve a daily set. And before we begin, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. So the question in front of us is that the following table shows the batting performance of the Australian team in a match. Table 1 indicates the score of the team at the fall of each wicket from 1 to 10, and table 2 gives the runs scored by the 11 batsmen and the order in which they appeared in the batting line. So, okay, this has been given to us. Okay, the data has been given to us for the fall of wicket, the total score at the time the wicket fell. Then table 2 shows the serial order in which the batsman came to bat, the name of the batsman, and the runs they scored individually. Okay, additional information is at any point there are two batsmen on the field till the fall of the 10th wicket. Whenever the team loses a wicket, a new batsman comes as per the batting order. Example, if one of the openers get out, the number 3 batsman takes the field. Okay, now a partnership between any two batsmen is the number of runs scored while both of them are batting. All right. So here we'll be needing a few things, guys. First, we'll be making a table for the fall of wicket. Okay, fall of wicket. Then the total score when the wicket fell. Okay, the total score when the wicket fell. Then the batsman who got out. Okay, so out batsman and the runs that he scored. Okay, and the runs that he scored. Then the not out batsman. Okay, and the runs that he scored, we will write. And the last thing that we will write is the partnership that they meet. Okay, partnership. All right. So this is what we have. Okay, now we have 10 wickets which have to fall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's write them a bit smaller so that we have enough space for everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we have 10 batsmen, right? We have 10 wickets that have to fall. Let us make our table. All right. So now what we are going to do, how we are going to solve this set, let's try and understand. Okay. So guys, what is happening over here is that the first wicket fell at 25 runs, right? The first wicket fell at 25 runs and the openers were Hayden and Gilchrist. Okay. Now out of them, Hayden has scored 28 runs, right? Hayden has scored 28 runs. So is it possible for Hayden to get out when the total team score was 25? No, it is not possible, right? So when the first wicket fell down, the score was 25 and the batsman who got out cannot be Hayden, right? The batsman who got out cannot be Hayden. So the batsman who got out is Gilly. Okay, Gilchrist. Now the runs that he scored at that point was 7. That means the remaining runs, that is out of 25, 7 was scored by Gilchrist. So the remaining runs were scored by Hayden, and that means Hayden had scored 18 runs by that time. And the partnership they did was of 25. Okay. Now the second wicket fell on 34 runs, right? Second wicket fell on 34. Okay. Let's say, is it possible that Hayden got out at 34? It is not possible. Why is it not possible? You see, because Hayden has to score 28 runs. Gilchrist already scored 7 runs. That means when Hayden got out, the minimum total of this team should have been 35, right? The minimum total of the team should have been 35, right? But the total is currently only 34. Okay, so it cannot be Hayden who got out. That means it will be Ponting who got out. Now Ponting has made 8 runs and he got out, so he got out at 8. Okay, and now you see that when the first wicket fell, when Gilchrist got out and Ponting came into bat, since then 9 runs have been scored, and you see that Ponting scored 8 runs out of it. That means the not out batsman, that was Hayden, scored only 1 run in that partnership of 9 runs. So since Hayden got out, there were 9 runs scored. So partnership was of 9 runs. Out of that, Ponting has scored 8. So Hayden did score only 1. Okay. Let's move to the third wicket. Third wicket fell at 42. Okay. Third wicket fell at 40. Okay. Let's check if Hayden can get out on as the third wicket. So if Hayden gets out as the third wicket, Then the total team score should be 28 runs of Hayden and 7 runs of Gilchrist, that is 35, and 8 runs of Ponting as well. So the total score of the team should have been 43, but since the total score is 42, Hayden cannot be the person who got out. Okay, Hayden cannot be the person who got out. So the person who got out will definitely be Simons. The person who got out will definitely be Simons, and he scored 4 runs. Now, since Ponting got out and between Simons got out, 8 runs have been scored. So the partnership is of 8 runs. Out of that, Simons scored 4 runs, and Hayden, that means the remaining 4 runs were scored by Hayden. Okay, the remaining 4 runs were scored by Hayden. Okay, so remaining 4 runs were scored by Hayden. Okay, now Simons is also out. Now the next wicket fell at 57. Okay, next wicket fell at 57. And now who has come up? The person who came up was Hussey. Acha. Now the partnership between Hayden and Hussey is of 15 runs. Okay, the partnership between Hayden and Hussey is of 15 runs. Okay. Now, because the partnership between Hayden and Hussey is of only of 15 runs, and we know Hussey has scored in total 20 runs. So even if Hussey scores all the 15 runs, he still won't be able to finish his 20 runs, right? So as the 4th wicket, it is not possible for Hussey to get out. So the person who got out over here will be Hayden. The person who got out over here will be Hayden. And because Hayden is currently at 23 runs, so Hayden will score more 5 runs of this partnership, and the remaining 10 runs will be scored by Hussey. The remaining 10 runs would be scored by Hussey. Now the next wicket fell at 62. Okay, the next wicket fell at 62. So another 5-run partnership was there between Hussey and Hodge. Okay, another 5-run partnership was there between Hussey and Hodge. Now Hussey, when Hodge came, Hussey was at 10 runs. Even he scores, if he scores the 5 runs that were made in this partnership, still he won't be able to finish his 20 runs. That means when the 5th wicket fell, it cannot be Hussey who got out. So the person who got out has to be Hodge. The person who got out has to be Hodge. And because we know he scored only 3 runs, so he scored 3 out of those 5 runs of the partnership. And the remaining 2 runs were scored by Hussey in that partnership. Okay, the remaining 2 runs were scored by Hussey in that partnership. All right. Then the next wicket fell at 75 runs. Okay, next wicket fell at 75 runs, and by then Lee has come up to bat. Now the total partnership that Hussey and Lee had was of 13 runs. Okay, the partnership was of 13 runs. Now Lee has to score 18 runs, and only a partnership of 13 was there. So it cannot be Lee who got out. That means definitely it has to be Hussey who got out. Now Hussey had already scored 10 plus 2, 12 runs. That means the remaining 8 runs he scored in this partnership. And if he scored 8 runs in this partnership, then the remaining 5 runs of this partnership were scored by Lee. Okay. Now the next wicket fell on 82. The next wicket fell on 82. Now Lee has another 13 runs to make. Okay, Lee has another 13 runs to make, but the partnership lasted only for 7 runs. That means Lee cannot be the person who got out because he still has 13 runs to make, whereas only 7 runs were made. Okay, so Lee cannot be the person who got out. That means the person who got out will be Johnson. The person who got out will be Johnson, and Johnson will score the 5 runs of his score. That means the remaining 2 runs were scored by Lee. The remaining 2 runs were scored by Lee. Okay. Then Johnson got out, and Clark, this white guy will come. Okay. Now they have a partnership up till 86 runs. So there is another 4-run partnership that took place. Okay, another 4-run partnership took place. Now Lee still has 11 runs to cover, and this partnership only lasted for 4 runs. So that means Lee again cannot be the person who got out. That means it is the person white who got out, and he got out for a 0. That means all the 4 runs of the partnership were scored by Lee. All the 4 runs of the partnership were scored by Lee. Then the next wicket fell at 99. The next wicket fell at 99. Okay. Now this partnership was of 13 runs. Okay. Now Clark has to score 11 runs. So it is possible for that out of this 13-run partnership between Clark and Lee, Clark scored those 11 runs and he got out. And this is also, there is also one more possibility because Lee has already scored 11 runs. He needs only 7 runs. So it is a possibility that Lee scored the next 7 runs and he got out. So both the possibilities are there. So one possibility is that Clark scored 11 runs and got out, or the other possibility is that Lee scored the 7 runs and got out. In both the cases, okay, if Clark scores 11 runs, in that case, Lee will be scoring 2 more runs and he will remain not out. Or if Lee scores 7 runs, then Clark will be the person who will be scoring 6 runs and will remain not out. Okay. Now the last partnership, it was till 110. So it was a 11 run partnership. Okay. It was a 11 run partnership. Okay. Now again, two cases. See, if Lee remained not out, okay, if Clark got out, let's say Clark had gotten out and Lee remained. Okay, Lee remained not out after the 9th wicket. So till now, Lee has scored how many runs? 5 plus 2, 7, 4, 11, 11 to 13 runs. So either it will be Lee who will be scoring 5 runs and getting out. Okay, either it will be Lee who will be scoring 5 runs and getting out, or it will be Williams who will be scoring 6 runs and getting out. Okay, or it will be Williams who is scoring 6 runs and getting out. Or the other possibility is that if Clark remained not out, then Clark had to score 11. He has scored 6. So either he could be the person who got his next 5 runs and got out, or it could be Williams who scored his 6 runs and got out in this partnership. And the person remaining not out, if William gets out, is that Lee will remain not out. Okay, Lee will still remain not out at after scoring 5 runs, or Williams will remain not out after scoring 6 runs. Or the other possibility is that Clark remaining not out, Clark remaining not out at 5 runs. Okay. Or the other possibility is Williams remaining not out after scoring 6 runs. So these are the possible cases that we have. Okay. Now let's move towards the questions. The first question is, how many batsmen lost their wicket between Hayden's and Hussey's dismissal? So Hayden got out as the 4th wicket, whereas Hussey got out as the 6th wicket. So there is one person who is Hodge who lost his wicket between them. So the correct answer is option number B, 1. How many runs were scored by the batsman who was the 9th to be dismissed? Okay. So 9th to be dismissed, okay, it cannot be determined because if you see, the two possibilities are there. It could be Clark who got out, or it could be Lee who got out. So the correct answer cannot be determined. So the correct answer is option number D. Third is, what was the percentage contribution to the second highest partnership of the batsman to be dismissed first in that partnership? Okay. What was the percentage contribution to the second highest partnership? So what was the second highest partnership, guys? If you look closely, it is the 15-run partnership. That is the second highest partnership. Okay, so it is the total partnership is of 15. Now, the contribution of which batsman is it asking to be dismissed first in that partnership? Now, that partnership was between Hussey and Hayden. So the person who got dismissed first was Hayden. So his contribution in that partnership was of 5 runs. So how much percentage is it? It is 33.33%. So the correct answer is option number A, 33.3. So this was a very good set, guys, on games and tournament, and especially on the game of cricket. So those who were good with the game of cricket, you would have found it easier to calculate the answers. And for those who are not, this is how the tables have worked, and this is how we have arrived at the solution. So now I hope you have understood the set well, guys. Thanks for watching the video.